Get ready for a wild ride through the world of pop culture. This week on the ESE Files, we're diving deep into the latest Marvel rumors, exploring the eerie world of Clayface, and uncovering the truth behind Sony's canceled gaming projects. We'll also be taking a look at some of the biggest gaming news, including the success of Marvel's Rivals, and the challenging new update of Helldivers 2. So buckle up, because this episode is packed with surprises and a whole lot of fun. First things first, shout out to B. Ray Jizzle. Happy birthday from the ESE Files. We wish you a happy birthday. Now, moving on to the news, we got some pretty good stuff today. Yeah, it's just me today. We had a rough schedule last week, but the show must go on, right? So here we go. The first thing that we're going to talk about, Chris Evans is set to return to the MCU. Oh man, that is cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, for what? Doomsday, possibly Secret Wars, but Doomsday. This article from Deadline is saying that he will return for Doomsday. And that's not a huge surprise. Like, we kind of guessed that already. He came back for Deadpool with a nice cameo there. If you haven't seen Deadpool already, go watch that. But Deadpool Wolverine, that is. But he made a return not as Captain America. He has stated in the past, Chris, that if he were to return as Captain America, he wants the role to matter. He wants it to be grand. He wants it to be a spectacular return. He doesn't want the Captain America story that the MCU laid out over these last 20 years. He had a happy ending. He had a great ending. He had a great run as Captain America. And he does not want to return just to, oh yeah, he's back. His story meant nothing. And very similarly, RDJ does not want to return to the role of Iron Man for very, very similar reasons. And I gotta agree with them. Both of those characters had great storylines, and you don't want to diminish Captain America, what he's done in the MCU, and Chris Evans, he respects that. I think it's awesome for him to uphold his word to that. With that being said, Doomsday. RDJ is returning as Dr. Doom. Why not have Captain America, the OG, come back and face off with a familiar face? It makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world for Captain America to make his return right here and then. But if you look at other reports online, he's not the only Captain America. Well, Anthony Mackie, he's our new and current Captain America. He hasn't, well, he did debut in the Disney series. Not everybody watched it. He hasn't had his solo Captain America yet. Brave New World, that's coming out soon. Hopefully that will establish Anthony Mackie as a new and ongoing Captain America. I hope that movie doesn't suck, because Anthony Mackie, he needs this win. But how do you feel about two Captain Americas in the film? Our OG Captain America and Anthony Mackie Captain America, both kind of, who's going to take lead? Who's going to be our captain? Anyone who's been watching Marvel for all these years, myself included, I mean, I got to side with my boy Chris Evans. Like, I like Anthony Mackie. I like his version of Captain America, but come on, that's America's ass. Come on, dude. It's not, I'm going to go with Chris. I would like to see Chris Evans come back as the man. But if Marvel really wants to establish Anthony Mackie as the ongoing Captain America, I don't think that they will bring OG Captain back. Chris, I don't think they'll do that to him. I want to see Captain America come back, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see them do Anthony Mackie dirty. So what do? You bring him back, you bring back Chris as somebody else. Who does he come back as? Give me your thoughts in the comments below. My guess is, I got a couple guesses. He could come back as Johnny Storm. Again, he did it for Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoilers. Why not do it again? The OG team, they could possibly return for Secret Wars and maybe roll over into Doomsday. The team is there. Bring them back. Fantastic Four. Jessica Alba in tights. Yes, please. If that's not going to be the way that Marvel wants to bring him back, okay. If it's not Johnny Storm, what would be big enough to bring Chris Evans back? there is a storyline, a somewhat new storyline, but a lot of people are familiar with it. There is a version of Captain America where he sided with Hydra back in the day, and he was a double agent. He was a Hydra agent, and it's a crazy story. Crazy to see that in live action. Chris Evans playing an evil version of Captain America. Wow, that right there, that would be awesome to see on screen. I kind of feel like he would be a big enough villain to be the villain of his own movie, or be a villain, big bad in a movie itself. If they were to do this, he would probably end up being some sort of lackey to Doctor Doom or something. I don't know. But wow, if they were to pull it off, just imagine it. Like they had that one teaser scene where Chris Evans was in that elevator with the dudes, and that awesome elevator fight scene. But there was the alternate version where Captain America knew were Hydra, and he just kind of whispered in their ear, "Hail Hydra," and he got the suitcase with the cube in it. And a cool scene that was right there. Just a nice little Easter egg. Like, how awesome would that be? Okay, so I kind of talked myself into it, but at the same time I talked myself out of it. So if they don't bring him back as Johnny Storm, they don't bring him back as Captain Hydra or whatever they call him, you could always play somebody new, right? You could always bring him back as somebody new, but the question is, like, who could he play? Like RDJ, again, he's coming back to play Doctor Doom. Who could Chris Evans come back to play? Someone who we haven't seen before. There's the Beyonder, which would be cool, but if I'm not mistaken, that guy in the trailer for Thunderbolts, the guy they call Bob, that's supposed to be our Beyonder. But I don't know, man. That's a damn good question. If not, I have no clue. If you got any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Let them fly in the comments. It'd be awesome. But wow, it's just something that's fun to kind of think about. Oh, you know what? Maybe an X-Men. He could be like Magneto or something. Oh, that sounds horrible. But he could be an X-Men. Maybe Cyclops or something. Like, that'd be tight. I think that'd be tight. I could be into that. But no. I think I would want somebody new. Somebody new for Cyclops. Like, Well, anyways, that's that story right there. But anyways, let me know your suggestions. What do you think? Who could Chris Evans return to play, if not Captain America? Or is it Captain America? Do you think it is him? Let me know. On the other side of the coin, DC Studios has got a little bit of news. First of all, real quick, I've been seeing rumors online, some headlines here and there, that we are supposed to be getting that Superman trailer very, very, very soon. I know that James Gunn has stated before that he's got the trailer on his hard drive on his computer. It's ready to go. They haven't released it yet. But if rumors are true, it should be coming out really, really soon. I cannot wait to see that. I'm very curious to see if this is going to change Minarm's mind, because Minarm is very anti-new Superman movie. This is not something that he's looking forward to. But I'm very curious. I'm very optimistic on it. I'm curious as hell. I want to see it. Please, James Gunn, I know you listen to this show. You got to drop it this week. We cannot wait. In other news, Clayface is apparently getting his own movie. Clayface, yeah. Apparently it's going to be written by Mike Flanagan, who is... Let's see, what have you done? You've worked on The Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Dr. Sleep, The Life of Chuck, Hush, The Midnight Club, not Midnight Club, that's not the video game. The Haunting, Gerald's Game, Oculus, Ouija Origin of Evil. It looks like he's a horror movie expert, which could be very interesting if he's working on a Clayface movie. But the thing also is that if I'm not mistaken, he originally pitched for this movie to be like its own solo thing. Like, it wasn't supposed to be like Joker, Elseworld. That's what they call it, right? Elseworld. It's an Elseworld take where it's Clayface, and that makes me wonder, like, okay, if it's Elseworld, they're probably not going to use a Batman, similar to the way Joker did. I'm starting to get that Sony vibe. We just got Sony to stop. We just got them to, with Craven, which is going under, by the way, they're doing horribly in the box office. I'm getting Sony vibes over here from DC. They're starting to. We got the Joker films, and now they're talking about Clayface. Who's next? Who's getting Poison Ivy? Is she getting the movie next? Or I mean, Harley Quinn, she already got hers. But man, I don't know what to think about this. I'm unsure. I like Clayface as a villain, but in this take, he wasn't going to be a villain. It was going to be the story of Clayface. And I mean, he's got an interesting story, but okay, let's talk about Sony again. Whenever they brought in characters to get their own solo films, like Venom, that's a recognizable name. Okay, cool. Spider-Man has a great rogues gallery, but they're not all big names that the public is familiar with. And by that, like Craven, okay, a mass majority have probably seen who Craven is, but probably don't really know who he is. Rhino, he's probably less known. Shocker, very lesser known. Vulture, probably lesser known. Like, and I say Vulture, but Marvel, they know what they're doing. They made Vulture fairly relevant. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. In DC, Batman has an amazing rogues gallery as well, but who really is clamoring for a Clayface movie? I know I'm not. I think it could be interesting, but I'm not looking for it. I want to see him face off against Batman. That'd be awesome. But a solo Clayface movie? I don't know, man. Well, in this article from Deadline, it goes on to say that Flanagan has expressed his interest in making a standalone Clayface movie, writing on Twitter in 2021 that he wants to approach the film as a horror thriller tragedy. In March 2023, Deadline sources have told them that Flanagan's take on Clayface will not feature the character as a villain. After the writer had a meeting with DC bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran, who took over in DC Studios in 2022. Although Flanagan wasn't pitching the character to be a part of Matt Reeves' DC Elseworld, other sources have said that Clayface is a big addition to the Reeves' Batman 2. What? Okay, yeah. I've heard rumors, yes, that Clayface could be a big part of Batman 2. I feel like when they take the villains and they ground them, they can do a great job with them. Like the Christopher Nolan movies, they took Joker and they made a fantastic Joker with him. They took Ra's al Ghul, who's supposed to be that immortal. They made a pretty badass movie with him. Bane, he was a joke in the Bat Nipples movie. He was just, no, man. Bane is a pretty badass character. And you know what? They made him a badass in the third Christopher Nolan movie. And the Reeves' Batman. They took Penguin and they made an awesome series with him. If you haven't checked it out on Max, yeah, it's a fantastic series. It is awesome. They made the Penguin. Oh man, he is awesome. So back to my point though, can they do the same thing with Clayface? If they ground him, they are kind of limiting it. I feel like they're going to have to play the first version of Clayface, like in the original comic book, where it's not the version of Clayface where he's this big mud man and he can make his body and stretch and just make hammers and spikes and all this stuff out of his body, which would be absolutely fantastic to watch, something like that take out Batman. Like that's awesome. I would love to see that. But if they go with the original version, it's just some dude who kind of used clay to mask his face and change it to kind of blend into his environments. He became different people. He's really, really good with makeup, I guess. I mean, that's who Clayface, the original version, was. And yeah, they can kind of make something out of that. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that could be interesting. They can make something good out of that. But let's be honest. Which version would you rather watch? This version of Clayface where, oh, I don't feel like being BB today. Let me be Minarum. I'm Minarum now. Or this dude who can just morph his body, make hammers, makes weapons out. He's a T-1000. He's basically a T-1000. And I'm going to pick T-1000. T-1000 Clayface. That's what I want to see. That's probably not what we're going to get. It just, back to the Sony vibes. I'm not seeing the value there. I'm not seeing. I hope that they tread carefully. DC, tread carefully. It's a trap. It's a trap. Deadline goes on to say that the Batman Part 2 was initially slated to open in October 2025, but was delayed and is now scheduled to release in October of 2026. Matt Reeves' film is not part of the Gunn DC universe. Still, that is not new information. Who Guns has another Batman movie in the works, Batman Brave and the Bold. So just to not cause confusion, the Matt Reeves Batman with our sparkly vampire, Edward, he will remain Elseworld Batman, just his own thing. And then there's going to be the Batman, that Brave and the Bold, the one that will be interacting with Justice League, Superman, Wonder Woman, that version of Batman. That's going to be James Gunn's Batman. There's 2 different Batmans going on at the same time. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. So just wanted to put that out there, make sure that everybody is on the same page. Clayface, Elseworld, what do you think? Yay? Nay? Moving on to some more DC-related news. Video game side. Rocksteady confirms it's pulling the plug on the new Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League content after Season 4. This will take place in January of 2025. Wow, that is around the corner. That's a couple weeks from now. Yeah, they're going to kill the game. It did not really get my attention. I know when it first released, it was one of those you have to be online kind of games. And I wasn't a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan because I don't always want to play online with other people. Sometimes I just want to play a game by myself. I want to play a solo game like a Spider-Man or even the Arkham games. The Arkham Batman, I love those games by Rocksteady, by the way, same studio. I'm not always in the mood to play a multiplayer game, but for this game, I believe you could play a single player and you could use bots to be the other guys to help you out, but you still had to be online for whatever reason. And I wasn't a big fan of that because what if you forget to pay your bill and the internet goes out, you can't play the game no more, or your dog chews on your wire and you don't have a replacement wire, and that has happened to me in the past. Yeah, no internet, you're out. Or bam, some accident, some idiot drives into the Comcast satellite post and boom, internet's done for a week. Internet outage. Yeah, these things happen, and you just cannot play your game. And I'm not a big fan of those kind of games. And this game, I don't know if that's the main reason that this game did not take off from the get-go, but it did not do well. It struggled. This game struggled all year to gain traction. There was a point where they kind of stopped doing that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They took it off of the online only after huge complaints. I think it didn't take very long for them to do that. But the damage was done. Like, they screwed the pooch. And this game really struggled to take off. And it kind of sucks because it was like a Rocksteady project. And I like the Rocksteady Arkham games. That trilogy was awesome. I loved them. I got all 3 platinums. Like, I was into them. I even played the Batman Origin. It wasn't by Rocksteady, but it was connected to that world. I was into these games. Like, I was good at these games. Like, I got that good. Yes, dude. It was so good. But this game just didn't do it for me. Nothing. And now here it is. It took a year. It's dead. It's dying. It's gone. This article from IGN says Rocksteady revealed the news in its official blog detailing Suicide Squad's final season, which will include the release of an offline mode and a new playable character in Deathstroke. While Rocksteady doesn't plan to release any new content, Suicide Squad's story will remain playable via offline mode, and it will be possible to play co-op with friends. Hey, that's cool, at least. Previous season content will continue to be available. Elsewhere, Rocksteady said Suicide Squad will remain available for purchase and that its in-game store will continue to function after Season 4 along with its in-game Luther Coin currency. Rocksteady didn't indicate how long it plans to keep Suicide Squad online after it finishes releasing new content. So, there you have it. Play, enjoy, if anyone's still playing. If there's any online trophies, you should probably get those now. Because yeah, once these kind of games go offline, there's really no way to get these trophies. I mean, I'm sure there is a way, but you probably don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Rocksteady, if you're listening, give me an Arkham number 4. That's what I want. I want to know what happens after, spoilers, after Batman died. Because he didn't die, but he died. Give it to me. Arkham number 4. Please do it. All right, so that was some bad news. Let's jump over a little bit of good news. Let's turn that frown upside down. Marvel Rivals is a smash hit with 10 million players in just 3 days. Dude, that is insane. 10 million players in 3 days. That is awesome. That is great news for Marvel. When I first saw that trailer at the Sony conference, it looked fun. It looked really fun. I know that Menarm kind of just, bleh, it looks like trash, but dude, it looks fun. Like if you look at the trailer, you play the game. Have you played the game, by the way, y'all? Yeah, is it fun? Is it good? I haven't had a chance. I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance. I haven't jumped on my PlayStation. I can't. My brother called me earlier today. He's like, dude, you gotta download the game. It's super cool, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I gotta edit, man. I gotta record. I can't. I don't have the time today, but it's super fun. He did get Agent K and Brother Guns to download Marvel Rivals, and I'm sure they'll get me. I'm sure, they got me to play Helldivers that way, so I'll eventually, I'll eventually get in there. It looks super fun. I'm very interested. I want to play it. I really do, and so far, it's reaching massive success. So, in this article from IGN, it says, NetEase's free-to-play superhero team-based PvP shooter launched on December 6th across PC via Steam and the Epic Games Store, PS5, Xbox, Series X, and S, while Sony and Microsoft do not make PlayStation or Xbox players' numbers public. Steam makes Valve stats available, and it's there that Marvel Rivals is enjoying a particularly massive launch. It peaked over the weekend with 990 concurrent players, which was enough to pull it into Steam's top 5 most played games. That's pretty cool. So far on Steam, the reviews are fairly positive, with 76% of the 35,000 reviews tagged. That's great. That's awesome. Now, how long will they see these kind of huge numbers? Only time will really tell. However, if I'm not mistaken, they are doing like the free battle passes, something similar to Helldivers, to where you don't have to pay, and that is great news. I think that's probably the way to go. You don't want to see games like Concord and X Defiant and Rocksteady over there with their Suicide Squad. We'll just have to wait and see how long this game will keep its momentum. It probably won't last forever, more than likely, right? But as far as I'm aware, it's a battle royale type of game. So far, it looks like it's just fun. I know that Brother Jay, my brother who called me, I'm sure he's already bought all the skins. Yeah, he's probably listening right now. He's like, oh yeah, I know, I did. So yeah, Marvel Rivals. Are you going to play? Are you already playing now? Are you going to keep playing it? Are you going to drop it? I'd like to know. Drop it in the comments. I did mention Helldivers 2 earlier, and they're in the news as well. They just released the biggest update that game has seen so far. And again, I haven't played it yet. And Menarm, he's been all over it. Where do you think he's at right now? Yeah, he's not available for recording. No, that's not true. Our schedules didn't align. Helldivers. Yeah, Helldivers. I've seen a few clips. I've seen some videos. I've seen some footage, and it looks awesome. Holy crap. It looks like a completely different game. The map is like in a city. It's more enclosed. You're fighting a new class. They're like octopus people or something. It's not like the Japanese octopus. Hi-ya. But looks like so much fun, dude. Like the basics of Helldivers 2 is there, but they just ramped it up to a new level. It looks harder. It looks more difficult because, like, first of all, they got shields, right? You got to like take out the shields and then you can attack. And then they got ships that come down that you got to throw in the grenades in there. Like, it looks freaking awesome. It looks like a completely different game. I'm curious to see if this is going to bring back old players who have left the game. I was looking at the player count earlier, right before recording, and it did not look like it changed, but I don't know when those numbers were updated, so I don't know for sure. Numbers have been fairly steady these last couple of months. Looking at roughly a little under 30,000 players. So I'm curious to see if this number will rise once everything is updated. All I know is that I need to jump back in. I feel like I'm falling behind, for real. Like, it really does make me want to go back and play. And I know that the boys are in there. I've been getting notifications like, hey, jump on. I was like, I can't. But it looks freaking awesome. I'm sure next week we will get some more updates and some more on-hand commenting from someone who has played the game. Well, I have played Helldivers 2, but not this new Illuminati class yet. Other than that, let me know if you are a former player, and if you are coming back, I want to know. Let me know down in the comments. That's going to do it for us this week. Short, sweet, simple, to the point. I wanted to make sure that you guys get something to listen to. So here we go. I know I kind of winged it. We threw it pretty fast, but I hope you enjoyed this. And feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube, of course. You can also listen to us on the go: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, various others, and of course, sweet, beautiful Pandora. We love Pandora so much. We've never said anything bad about Pandora, especially not me. I love Pandora. Feel free to leave us some email, of course, as well. contact@theesfiles.com. We'll read your mail online and we'll answer all your questions. Any tips, suggestions, let us have it. And with the holidays right around the corner, Brother Guns has requested all of your wiener picks. He wants the big ones, the small ones, the hairy ones, the smelly ones, the grinchy ones, the who ones, the cut ones, the uncut ones, the one with the cheese, a little extras, a little sprinkle on there. And per personal request, he would like for you to dress it up for Christmas, for the holidays. A nice little red bow on top, maybe something festive, a little top hat, a little carrot nose right on the tip, just boom, just to make it frosty, make him jolly, yeah, he's little Ken. Make sure you send all those to guns@theesfiles.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This is Bogus Bird signing out, and we'll catch you on